That makes sense. So the only other thing in my mind that I think we need to cover, and I assume this is a very brief question, is reversibility. That was one of the things you talked about being the key factors for development initially, was it had to be reversible, which makes sense. You don't want to make that decision when you're 15 years old and never be able to reverse it. Are all hormonal birth controls reversible?
They are.
Okay. How reversible? How quickly does this happen? Is it as soon as you stop taking your pills, or as soon as you?
Yeah, the broadest statistic would be that anywhere between 79 and 96% of women are able to get pregnant within 12 months of going off the pill.
Okay.
So there are some that, depending on what they were taking, they within a couple days or weeks, they are ready to go.
Yep.
There are others that it's more like a year.
Yeah.
But again, is it because of the method that they were using? Is it something physiologically that they're dealing with? Is it their partner? There's a lot. There's a lot at play. But in general, for the most part, kind of no matter what anybody tells you, you're generally okay as far as fertility goes if you have been taking birth control, even if you've taken it for a long time. Within
a year, almost everybody will be back to baseline.
Yeah, there's nothing strong enough to suggest that it's causing long-term fertility or infertility.
And at 60 years in, we would probably have some data to back that up if that was the case. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And a lot of it, even looking at a lot of the different adverse effects over time, from even the very first rendition of the first 1960 hormonal birth control, they've reduced the doses of each of those components substantially over time. So a lot of maybe the natural hormonal suppression that can occur would be worse if we were on mega doses of hormones for extreme amounts of time. But the relative doses are, they've been able to study the doses of these synthetic products for a long time. And not that they're perfect, it's just that they are not physiologic levels that women are being, supplemented with. So that certainly plays a role in and even when you're starting on a birth control option, they're working to start you on the simplest or the lowest possible dose. And so I think all of that, does that play a direct one-to-one role with fertility specifically?
Right.
But in general, being very judicious with the doses that are now available.
Yeah.
That certainly plays a role.
If there was going to be a significant effect on it, it probably would have been obvious back in the 60s and 70s when the dosages were so much higher. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay.
And even kind of looping in the idea of adherence, these hormonal methods, they're most effective if the patient is adherent.
That makes sense.
So if you're missing doses, you're more likely to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So what does that say? That even these short-term fluctuations, and I missed a dose this week, I missed 2 in a row at this point in time, it speaks to the reversibility for the most part for these products.
Yeah.
So it's only as effective as you are adherent at using it.
Makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.